What's up? It's, I don't know, it's Monday morning, President's Day. I'm in Fultonville, New York, outside of Johnstown, delivered to a Walmart yesterday. And, got to go over to Connecticut by 10 this morning. Pick up a load going to Ben and Jerry's up in Vermont. And so, being used to driving about 2 in the morning, I'm up. So I figured I'd do a video or two. This is one I've been thinking about for several months. And just finally decided to do it. Several months ago, I'd made a comment on a young driver post out in Southern California. I don't know, who runs back and forth pretty much up and down from Southern California up into Oregon and Washington. And he made two comments. One was that I was lazy because I didn't drive 700 miles a day. Which, being that he runs up and down in California, Oregon, and Washington most of the time, I don't know how he runs 700 miles a day with the speed limits out there. So I don't know. That's on him, not my problem. The other comment he made was that by chasing fuel economy, I was chasing pennies. And I thought about that for a while. You know, maybe you are, maybe you aren't. What do you call pennies? What does that mean exactly? So what I did was some simple calculations. Now, everybody knows, or most people know, that I'm at Prime. Everybody knows that Prime pushes fuel economy, low idle time, blah, blah, blah. You know, and their push to the driver, justification of the driver for fuel economy and no idle time is that it puts money in your pocket. Which it does, no doubt. However, you know, being a little bit smarter than the average yo-yo out here, I also know that keeping your idle time down also increases the resale value of the truck, which is their goal. You know, they make their money off of us leasing the trucks, and then they make money selling them. And in talking to some drivers one time up here in the Northeast, actually, who had taken trucks and traded them in, they were similar trucks, similar mileage, but one had a hell of a lot more idle time on it, hours on it, than the other guys, and his trade-in value was somewhere between $5,000 and $10,000 less than the other guy's truck because of the idle hours. So, you know, yeah, that's probably the main consideration for Prime in keeping your idle time down. And then secondary is that it saves you money, and that's how they justify it to the driver. And, you know, the drivers are all about the money, so, or should be about the money. And therefore it works. And they get what they want, and the driver saves some money, and life is good for everyone. But anyway, somewhere along the line, I decided to do some really simple calculations. Now, Prime preaches drive 55 to 60. Prime preaches keep your RPMs below 1200. Okay, fine. If that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. I normally run 58 to 62, and when I want to, I run, you know, 65, and then it's mainly if I need to, or if I'm trying to not use too many hours. Because as we all know from past statements I've made. I'm not a believer in driving 11 hours a day. I don't get paid by the mile. Well, I do get paid by the mile, but I get percentage of what the load pays. So it doesn't really much matter how many hours it takes me to get there. It's just that I get there from point A to point B, and I get there on time, which with the CSA score of 0, obviously I do that over the last 6 years of time. So anyway, the heart of the matter is, the simple calculations I did was I based my savings or costs both on 100,000 miles at $2.50 a gallon. Now I realize that, you know, some places during the year you buy fuel cheaper than that, and I realize sometimes during the year you buy fuel for more than that, but it's just a number. And right now it's below what the fuel cost is on the sign. So if you're paying that for your fuel, then, you know, if you're paying what's on the sign, you're paying the pump price, then your savings would even be more. And what I came out with was the difference between getting 8.5 and 6.5 miles to the gallon was $9,000 a year. Per 100,000 miles. Now, that would mean that at 7.5, you would probably be at the $5,000 savings point. Yeah. If you were getting 7.5 instead of 6.5. But I consistently run above 8, so I figured 8.5, and you know, I do that. So, example of a trip is just like this one right here, and we all know weight, roads, all that is factors in it. So the load I brought up here came out of Lebanon, Tennessee. I ran it at 65 miles an hour. It only weighed 30,000 pounds, and I've still got 8.3 miles to the gallon. But you know, that's something you got to look at and consider. And if you want to run slower to save fuel, okay. If you don't, that's on you. I mean, I don't really care what you do or don't. My point is, I don't think saving $9,000 a year, or $5,000 a year for that matter, is chasing pennies. You know, I live in a fairly nice house, nice 2-story, 4-bedroom, 3.5 baths. Just me, the wife, and the dog. And that $9,000 would pay 5.5 of my house payments for the year. That $9,000 would make all the car payments on my wife's new Buick. Now, you might consider it chasing pennies, but I'm thinking if your fuel savings could pay your house payment for half a year, you might think about that as being kind of substantial. I do. So, I don't think it's chasing pennies. That's just my opinion. You can punch the numbers up yourself. You know, it's real easy calculations. You know, and that's it. Feel free to leave a comment. Thumbs up, thumbs down. I don't really care. I don't do this for AdSense. To me, AdSense is chasing pennies. I don't care. I don't care about views. I don't care about number of subscribers. I do this for entertainment. And you know, every now and then there's some good information. So I don't know. I guess it's good information. I don't know if I could save $9,000 a year, and somebody told me how, I'd find that to be good information. Whether you choose to use it or not, it's on you. It's not going to affect what I have for dinner today, tomorrow, or the next one, or what I do. So feel free, leave comments, thumbs up, thumbs down. And if you leave a really good negative comment, I might even do a video about it, because I find that funny. I don't delete comments, and I don't block anybody either, oh, by the way. So feel free, and have a happy and safe day. I'm sure I will. Bye-bye now.